because I'm ready to play some Star Trek with this wonderful cast. Let me show them. Let me show them off to you. Let me show them off to you. Go ahead and go to the main title, everybody, and then we're just gonna jump into the episode with starting with Paul giving us the captain's log. So we'll see you in a second. Okay, so I'm
late.
I'm gonna put us at red alert because I assume we're at red alert. So, all right, Paul, go for it. Go for it. Wait. Pause. They're not hearing you. Stupid thing. It's a 1 second. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just gonna Discord. The Discord one keeps acting up. So yeah, will you start over for them, please?
Sure. Captain's log, supplementary. We're stranded in the future, but not without a paddle. The Enterprise is at our side, working to help us get back to 2369. Captain Baaj informed us that she spent the better part of 2 decades preparing for our arrival in 2409. We were quickly met with obstacles, led by a Klingon scientist named Korath, who claims that the chronodeflector that the Enterprise has provided us to get us home was unfairly traded by an Admiral Janeway. They took a few swipes at us, but that didn't go so well for them. Interestingly enough, our crew put up a heck of a fight and put a lot more hurt on them than even the Enterprise did. We left the area to complete the installation of the chronodeflector and post-battle repairs, which is just a few scratches. And now, here we are. Korath is coming back with a bigger force, 10 Klingon ships in total. If my crew keeps the pace they did a half a day ago, we should get home by lunch. And maybe then I'll try that Klingon deli on DS9.
All right. So, with that said, so you're in like comms contact already with the Enterprise because y'all were avoiding. Remember, y'all were kind of before y'all were discovered by the Klingons. Y'all knew they were in pursuit of you, and you also knew that like they were searching for you. You knew they were in the area, but y'all got near a pulsar, and y'all kind of got into like sort of a field within the pulse, like near the pulsar to sort of hide. But then the Enterprise actually fumbled on the catch at one point. Like y'all were avoiding them for about half an hour, and then finally the Enterprise got like smacked with like a solar flare. Or not smacked with it, but a solar flare kind of pushed the Enterprise off a little bit. So they got off course a little bit, and that's what led to the Klingons discovering y'all. Because y'all weren't invisible, but y'all were like visually, but y'all were also obviously invisible on scanners. So their scanners picked you up, and they have made it back. They have made it to you again. They're like in a formation where Korath ship, which you recognize from that first battle, is kind of sort of at the top and a bit back. And then there's like 2 other, because his was a cavort bird of prey, which is that huge bird of prey, right? Like the big battle cruiser bird of preys, and he has like 2 of those kind of flanking him on the left and the right. And then there are 7 other Brel bird of preys, which are much smaller bird of preys. They're more like scout ships. There's 7 of those kind of in like a sort of a star form, like not a star, but kind of a, like a triangle formation underneath all of them. So it should look like this, and then like sort of like a W with like a V below it of ships, or an upside down.
Like a Wonder Woman logo.
Well, it's like I said, The two, they're like a W at the top with the big ships, and then a V coming down from the crux of that. So it's just, sure. So there's shit ton of ships, and y'all are gonna, y'all are getting hailed. The Enterprise, both you and the Enterprise gets hailed by Korath. Actually, Korath just hails the Shran.
Okay.
He ignores Baj.
Okay. I guess
Yeah,
Neiman will turn to sorry. Neiman will turn to Jakar and ask him and ask Jakar, say, why would he be hailing only us?
With this time frame, your guess is as good as mine, Captain. I think that we should at least accept it and hope for the best because we are grossly outnumbered.
On screen then.
Captain Bears. Korath says.
Korath?
Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I would like to give you one more opportunity to return to me what is mine. Without that bitch from the Enterprise interfering. And he looks, he's like very earlier he looked very smug and confident in that first battle, and clearly like that didn't go well for him. This time he looks a lot more like he looks just as confident as he did before, but and even more smug, I guess. He just is like he got his ass whooped a minute ago, like like a day or two ago, but he's first, he's very confident now. He's looking down on you like, you better listen to me. So yeah, he says, he basically, like I said, he offers one last time. He says, then he continues. He says, the device that you have was traded to Admiral Janeway, but she was unfair with me. She did not give me what I wanted. But maybe
it sounds
you
like
can.
That sounds like a problem between you and Captain, or you and Admiral Janeway.
Well, it seems right now it is a problem between you and I, because you are the one that holds the chrono deflector on your ship now.
What are you asking for?
I am asking for your technology.
Our technology is several years out of date compared to you.
What's having a jump? What's to say I couldn't just go back and make a name for myself in the past with my chrono deflector?
That would irrevocably harm the timeline. And I couldn't let you do that.
I will have my property back whether you like it or not. And then Baj is like pushing, like the Enterprise is pushing into the comms, and she and then one of his crew members just tells him, like from behind, that basically the Enterprise won't stop pushing the fucking button.
I mean, can we like can we like mute the view screen for a hot second?
Yes, you can.
Because like,
yeah, you're muted.
What is it that he wants of our technology? And what's to say that we can't give him something that would be harmless?
I think he wants the actual implementation of the chrono deflector so he can have his own time machine.
He is the one, just so we're aware, because this is what Bosch explained to you. He is the one who invented the chrono deflector. He created it. Now, in the last episode, you were made aware that there was basically a trade between him and Admiral Janeway. And the thing is he's really in the wrong here because he got what he asked for. He just broke it.
Then he realized what he actually had in his hands. And
Yeah,
he
like
realized he
he
could have gotten a
basically
lot more, and he went all Ferengi on us.
yeah,
Ooh,
like he
we should maybe
basically
go with that analogy.
he basically like just for a little bit more because I didn't really work out exactly what Janeway gave him, but we'll always because we talked about this before on and off these shows. Kind of the advantage of the Federation is their scanners. They have the best scanners, like the Romulans, the Klingons, the Vulcan. I mean, well, the Vulcans aren't part of the whatever, but basically all of the enemies of the Federation never have scanners as good as the Federation. The Federation has by far the best scanners. Like they have the best long range scanners. They get the most data from any of like all of everybody else's basically. And so what he wanted classified scanning technology. Like, cause the Federation, I mean, sure, somebody could take apart a Federation ship and figure it out, but there are some nuances to it. There's some secrets to it that kind of stay within the top brass of the Federation. Like there's certain things you just have to know to understand why they're so powerful. And it's kind of, it would be like one of those things where engineers are like very conditioned not to give that information up freely because they have to know it, right? Like the people that work for the Federation have to know these things. But the thing about the scanning technology of the Federation, it is by far the most advanced and nobody else has quite gotten there even when they've reverse engineered it. So what he wanted before was there was some new scanning technology that the Federation was like, that they're prototyping, and he wanted a piece of it. And she gave it to him. But the problem is what she gave him was a piece of the puzzle. And also he destroyed it because he tried to implement it and it didn't work out. So basically, he's mad for two reasons. He's mad because one, he broke the shit that he was given and he wants his, he's being a little child about it. But also two, he has some point in saying that, it wasn't fair because he wasn't given the full picture. Now he didn't know, he wasn't, he thinks it was a lot of ego. He thought, oh, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And so it's on both him but like 80% of it's on him, 20% of it's on Janeway, if that makes sense.
I mean, anything we give him is still not going to be as good as what she gave him. So I mean, like,
right? But now he's posing. Now he's kind of like, if I get what I want from you, I can just make another chrono deflector, and I can go back in time, and I can just do whatever. He's just being an asshole. I don't know what else to tell you.
But can he? Like, is whatever we give him going to be as good?
I don't know. That's the thing.
I get what you're saying.
What if we try and engineer a phony one? Like, Voss, would you be able to potentially make a device that looked enough like it to fool him?
Give us enough time.
Possibly, yeah. Or maybe give him the technology that just feeds him
wrong
information.
Wait a second. There.
But I had a question. About this. Does he need Federation scanning technology for implementation with the chrono deflector to have a functioning, accurate time ship?
Okay, then why don't you roll? Because you're gonna have to answer that yourself. Roll.
Okay.
Roll. Pardon me, I'm burping. Roll me a reason and science.
I would say insight.
Okay, that's fine. Insight science. I'll take it. Insight science.
Because insight is figuring it out. Reason is application. Stuff.
No, you're correct. Yeah. So give me an insight science.
I've got.
And there's no.
I don't have any focuses.
This is like complication range 0 because this is like you're just kind of figuring something out mentally. It's not like he's gonna know. So yeah, go ahead and do that. What did you get to? So yeah, you're good. Yes, that's you're on the right path. Like it's like you had like a light bulb moment and you're realizing that. So you don't necessarily know this, but you feel very strongly that yes, that's correct. Like that is exactly what.
So basically, he created the technology to travel through time, but he doesn't have a very accurate way of doing so. But he would need
what you can surmise from it is that when he needs the scanners to be better because that device can like literally drop you off anywhere in time and like anywhere physically too. Like it's not like where you're at right now is where you're gonna end up when you're on the other side, when you're back in time. But the thing is, it needs extremely accurate scanners and also accurate records of the past, so that it can properly land somewhere without, like, ending up in in the side, like halfway in a freaking, planet, or what a space rock, what are they called? Asteroid.
Yeah,
So
like Riker's X-ship.
So he is not he probably already has records, right? He already probably has some pretty good records, but he needs a better scanner, and Starfleet has the best scanners. So there you go. So you're again, you don't have it confirmed, but you feel very strongly about that.
Right.
Like you're looking at the schematics and you're like, oh wait, it makes sense. He needs okay. So there you go.
All right, okay, the captain's back from the head, so I relay all that information about my hunch about why
he wants scanners.
why he wants the scanners from us. Yes, and if we do give it to him, he would have a functioning time machine.
And even 40-year-old scanners, Starfleet scanners, are better than current Klingon ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So, Captain, you've been given this
especially from a prototype ship. So this is basically much better. What we have is much better.
Yeah,
than
y'all are like the next
ship
generation of ships.
Yeah,
this is the early Lunar
I'd rather not fight if I had a chance to. That's long odds, and giving him what he wants is not an option. But giving him something that would make it think it's what he wants.
Okay.
To give us enough time to escape would be good. Though I honestly wouldn't want to have this man chase me through time because I gave him the wrong statistics.
Baj has been listening, and she suddenly, she pipes in because she's been listening to you, and she's like, why would you be in consideration of negotiating with him in the first place?
Captain, I am a Starfleet officer just as you are. Our job is to limit as much as possible any conflicts. We're not soldiers, we're explorers. I'd rather not kill the Klingons under his own command. Are we not in an alliance with the Klingons?
Not currently. We are at war with the Klingon Empire. She had explained, and then and she reminds you that yes, they're like, she made that joke in the last episode that, another Klingon Federation war in my lifetime. Like, she just is like, so, and then you have and so she sends you, while you're in talks about this, she sends you she swipes just something on her little chair, and it actually comes over, and it goes to your chair. Actually, it goes directly to your chair. It doesn't even relay through Shikar or anybody. It actually goes directly to your display on your chair. So that's something new. That's really cool that you like. And
fucking airdrop, man.
Yeah, it's Starfleet. it's space. It's chair to chair. It's chair drop. It's chair drop. That's what it's called.
My job is already obsolete 3 episodes in.
Yeah. It's chair drop. And so she chair drops you, basically. She limits the amount of information, but a general rundown that there is a Klingon Federation war going on. It's been going on for a couple of years. This new basically the new Chancellor. This is actually lore from Star Trek Online. And Jim Peck, I think is his name.
Jim Pock.
Yeah, Jim Pock.
He's such a jerk.
Yeah, Jim Pock, he started this whole war with the Federation, and it's been going on for a few years. I believe it's been going on since 2405. In the timeline, it ends in 2410, so it's a year out from being done. Y'all don't know that though. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he basically, she sends you a rundown of there's been these. And she can't give you too much information. There's tons of redacted, but it just gives you the idea. Yes, we've been at war with the Klingons, and it's not being fun. And she does it it says when Chancellor Redacted was killed, Chancellor Redacted.
Yeah.
It's literally so much of it is, but you get the idea that the Klingons have been at war. They started some shit again with the Federation.
One technological question: does chair drop have auto delete function once you read it, like Snapchat does, or?
It can, and it does. In this case, this particular file does burn after reading. Yes,
like Signal.
Yeah. Now it would need to, because if this information is taken with us to the past, it could endanger the future of Federation Klingon relations.
It's funny that you mentioned that, Darsh. Please roll me a 1d100.
Oh God. Oh God.
I was waiting for somebody to say that.
Hold on.
This is where I was going to punish Disco today. So y'all get to take it too.
Thanks, Disco.
54. I don't know what that means.
That's actually a pretty good one. Suddenly there's like this and suddenly the Enterprise and those the Enterprise is there, but it's not really. It's almost like, like on the effects, like it washes, like that little washy effect. So just imagine it's this television show, right? And it kind of does the and y'all feel it, y'all feel like this. It's almost like you feel pressure on your bodies for a moment, and then it lifts, and everything looks the same. There are 10 Klingon ships. Or actually, no, there's not 10 anymore. There are 5 Klingon ships, but one of them, the one where Korath, or where Korath was, or no, pardon me. Sorry. I'm getting this wrong. Okay, so the Enterprise is no longer, and its place is a very ornate, compared to most Klingon ships, a more ornate Klingon ship, accompanied by a couple more. Korath is still there with his fleet of 10, and like I said, there's 5 or 6 Klingon ships now where the Enterprise was, and a huge one. And Baj is still on comms, but she changes. She's now on the bridge of a Klingon ship, and she is wearing the robes of a High Council member.
Oh no.
And then she's in the, and then the thing is Korath is still looking the same mostly, and he's still looking just as mad, but he also looks about as confused as y'all do. He's looking like, whoa, what's good? And then now but also at the same time it's something's hitting his brain, something's changing.
For us to know this, are they all on screen then?
Yeah, they're all on screen.
Okay.
Like he looks confused, but he also after a second he starts to it's like he snaps into something new. In
case our memories start to change,
your memories are unaffected. Your memories are
I know, but in case they do, I'm just gonna start typing out what exactly happened, because basically
that's fine.
Timelines shifted. So yeah.
And then Baj continue, Baj, instead of having what the conversation she was before, she is telling Korath, she says, "This was not the agreement. You made an agreement with Admiral Janeway. We support the Council supports the Federation. You will get no support from us, Korath."
What's going on, Baj?
Say that one more time, Paul. Sorry, I didn't quite get it.
What's going on, Baj?
She looks at you very confused. She says, "We're trying to get you home."
Check your chronometric sensors on your ship. Tell me if you have any variants. I look over at Uvana and kind of signal for her to do the same.
Yeah, and they're I'm not even gonna make you roll for it. Yeah, clearly something shifted. Basically what you can surmise is that something shifted. Something happened that made a change in the timeline, in literally what just happened. And so you don't know what it was, obviously. And Baj, her person reports back to her that yes, something has shifted. And then she says, she looks at you, Captain, and she says, "What was going on before now?"
Confirmed. Something has changed.
You were aboard the USS Enterprise and a captain of a Starfleet vessel.
She looks very confused, but like she kind of has this look on her face, like, and then she kind of nods slowly, like she's thinking, and she says, "Oh, well, who is to know which timeline is alternate, and which was the correct one?"
With all due respect, Council Member Baj.
Counselor.
Hi,
Counselor.
Counselor Baj. Hi, Counselor Baj. We are just trying to get home.
Who is aboard your ship? She looks in like she's looking on your bridge.
She can see everyone. I mean, she sees Ivana, Voss, Jagar, and Shiv, who's also in the security tactical area.
Okay, so. Everybody, tell me what you're doing at this very moment, other than just sitting here. Like, are any of you looking at any information? I know what Ariana is doing. I know what Ivana is doing. And then, Darj, you're typing. You're typing.
Yeah, but I also have now that Shiv isn't over my shoulder, I have a multi-window open, and I got various historical, primary historical events in Federation history that have happened, and trying to see if I can ascertain if there's been any changes and when those changes happened.
Are you looking at like historical records as in up to 2369 or up to 2409?
Major events in Federation Klingon relations, but I'm going back before 2369 because I have two.
You would have to get special. Yeah, you'd have to like download that information because you don't have that right now.
Yeah. But my theory is I'm trying to ascertain. I also tell this to the captain whether it is something that's changed because of us going to the past, or something that caused someone else to go to the past, like because of what happens in the next hour or so.
Shiv, I'm going to take this opportunity to say that Shiv, actually, Ariana, you or Ivana, you have information that Shiv gave you. Remember, he gave you the thing like the schematics of the Enterprise and yada 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 that he had downloaded. Like right. Are you doing anything with any of that right now? Are you messing with it at all? Are you taking a look at that to see if that changed? You don't have to. Well, I'm just kind of. I'm reminding you.
I think it's occurring to me that perhaps I should immediately try and erase all record of it.
Okay, the moment you pick it up and you start to do that, you're gonna roll me a 1d100.
Okay. Well, I said it was occurring to me, not that I have decided to.
Okay.
No, but this is time travel. So it starts.
This is no longer time travel. This is something.
I suppose that's true. Just thinking about it is enough to set it in motion.
Okay. Yeah. Thinking about it is. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
I just like this part of the game because I really like. I'm excited about this. What did you get?
Wait, where's the roll for the 100 again?
Just type in / roll 1d100, like all one word.
Slash.
It's like /roll, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. /roll space 1d100.
Oh yeah, you needed the space. Sorry, I forgot about the space between roll and 1d100.
Here it is.
Yes, I was hoping we'd get this one. Okay, so suddenly, and it changes. Like, okay, again, Korath stays there, but the whole thing changes with Baj. No longer are there like 5 or 6, Klingon like KDF escorts with a counselor's ship. It now is like, it looks like some kind of there's one ship, and it looks like it is a very like it's a very battle scarred bird of prey, like a big one, a cavort. But it looks like it has some tech that's from other places a little bit. Like it's kind of mishmashed a little bit, not quite like a pack-led ship, but it's definitely like the cavort is the base, but it looks like it has like some Romulan implementation, maybe a little bit of Federation implementation, and it has like this big like black banner painted on the side of it that looks like Klingon skull and crossbones. And cross, like kind of like my logo actually, and there's Baj again, but this time she's dressed more like Piratey? A rogue. Yes, this is Pirate Baj. Welcome to my favorite one, and.
But I'm not even going to say anything except for just turn and say. I'm going to mute all of the comms and go, what did we do? Did anyone do anything?
Shiv does not say anything. Because he is not here. This is why I wanted Disco to be here.
Listen, the most important question is, does the bridge lighting on our ship change?
Oh. No. You're constant. You're always a constant.
Remember yesterday's Enterprise, the episode where they went to fully dramatic lighting as soon as... timelines changed.
My response though to the captain is I couldn't help it. It just popped in there.
What popped in there?
I realized that the information Shiv had sent me may be affecting the timeline, assuming we got back home safely.
Shiv.
I only thought about deleting it.
Shiv just scratches the back of his antenna. And he just is like, Captain, I may have caused something to do with this.
What did we talk about with the Temporal Prime Directive, Shiv? This is why we can't mess with anything in anything.
I'm not going to try to speak in his voice, but I am going to say that Shiv kind of tries to defend himself a little bit by saying it was just scans. It wasn't more than what we already knew. Like he's trying to explain that it was basically.
I will cut in as he's explaining it and go. A butterfly can flap its wings and change the future. You know this. This is Temporal 101. We've all been through this in Starfleet Academy. Do I need to start listing off events that have happened already that have changed because of machinations in the past? We cannot do this. That's why we cannot let point to the screen. They can't let him get a hold of this technology. And if I have to, I will blow this ship up before we start messing with the past.
I will do that for you first, Captain, until you give me that chrono deflector. That's Baj speaking. That's Baj speaking. And Baj is beginning. She like her weapon, like their weapons are starting to power up. And the Korath is just like, no, it's mine. He's starting to power up his weapons.
Captain, I recommend we call for parlay.
What's the Klingon version of Tortuga?
Give me. It's time for me to get serious. I say, unmute the comms, and Captain Beers is going to adjust himself, stand up, look at the screen, and go, listen, I've had just enough of this. You either both back off. I will destroy this ship and everything on board, myself and my crew included, to preserve the timeline. I'm bluffing really hard, but
on the other hand, this is what we signed up for, being Starfleet officers.
Korath backs off immediately, and he's like, no. He is backing off hard. Baj is still keeping her weapons powered on, as she just looks at you. And by the way, Pirate Baj looks fucking great. I mean, she just looks fantastic. She's got the sash, and there's like, there's not a hat. We don't need a hat when we're Klingon. Klingons don't wear hats, generally. But she's got like this great sash. She doesn't. She has like some form of Klingon bird on her shoulder that looks really fucking mean. Like it just looks like it could eat a bald eagle, and it's like not even half the size.
And it's not feathery; it's like leathery, like a
yeah, it's
bat
like a bat.
thing.
Yeah, it's like a bat, and it's just gnarly looking, and it's like it's growling and stuff, and she, like I said, she's like, of course she's a pirate, so she's got like some scars. She's missing an eye, you know, that kind of the eye patch. I mean, we're gonna go full pirate here, you know. But yeah, she looks fantastic. And she's, you know, she's got like a lot of midriff show and things like that. Like she's a little more sexy. Because, you know, why not? And so she just stares at you, and you can tell she probably is going to try to poke your bluff. But you don't know yet. She's just saying.
Yeah. I turned to who would be in charge of this? I guess it would be Voss or Uvana would be in charge of the deflector itself.
Uvana, because the deflector is more of like an operation, because it
yeah.
And you're using the chrono.
I'm guessing.
All right, I'm guessing
Uvana figures out what to do, and it's up to me to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I turn to Uvana. I turn to Uvana and Voss and go, Uvana, Voss, set the chrono deflector to overload.
Yes, Captain.
And I look back at Baj and I go,
Captain, roll me a presence command, and I'm gonna have Baj roll one as well.
I have diplomacy. Does that?
Yes, that's a focus. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna roll for Baj, and I'm gonna roll the same thing.
Not only do I have a diplomacy, but I will also be willing to use determination if I have to, just because strength and unity is one of my values, but also because of my the right way and the wrong way.
Yeah. That works.
It's also his past as we're dealing with like lots of diplomatic or not diplomatic.
Can I throw in like I've got my supervisor talent, which just increases the support by 1.
Yeah, you can use it like you can. Yeah, you
since
can.
Like I have sort of like my Klingon like continental, like just general.
Yeah, you can. So you're not rolling you're not doing an assist necessarily, but you're putting in some more crew support. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let that in the terms of this, Paul, I'm gonna let you roll 3 task roll for free.
Okay. And is this?
I was gonna let it give him a die. What was that?
Is presence command?
Yes.
Okay.
I wish Darjanator were here, because he's got all the right focuses for this sort of stuff.
And then Baj is rolling 1 too. Oh yeah, you beat her. That was she believes you. She says, "Fine. We can parlay. We can discuss
Power down.
And then in a show of good faith, she does power her weapons down. Everybody's shields are still up, but she powers weapons down. And Korath has already done that. Like he's already like just totally like powered everything down. Like he's just like at your mercy right now.
I'll say both of you 1 hour. My ready room.
Okay.
No negotiations. Beers out.
Wait, so
and
then she actually like turns to her bridge crew. She's like, "Wait, so we're not negotiating in an hour, and there's gonna be beer? Sounds good. Fine. This is fine. This is good, Captain over there."
Also with weapons offline, I believe that makes us condition yellow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Step down to yellow. Thank you, Mr. Voss.
And with that, let's take a
engineer/rules lawyer.
Yeah. Why don't we just take a little quick 2-minute break, give everybody a chance to go get something to drink, potty, give the audience a chance to go do that too. I think it's a good place to stop for just a second. So that's a good spot. So when we get back, we will see how that goes.
All right.
All right, we're back, everybody. Back at Yellow. So you'll have basically an hour before you do the things. So what's your plans?
So Captain Beers will basically the second that the comms drop, he's going to turn and goes and look at the crew and go, we have an hour to get ready. Voss, how long do you have? You have an hour to figure out how to either A, give me technology I can give to them that they think is valuable, or B, get that deflector up online.
Captain, I'm also collating the information about the Star Federation and Klingon relations in the past couple of decades to see just when the discrepancies started, because from what is currently in our databanks versus what we can remember. So I think we need to discover first what changed and when it changed to get us in this timeline.
We need more time, but I got us an hour so far. So you can do that, but we have to figure out something else.
I will delegate.
It turns to Ivana. Ivana, I need you in your best pirate impression. You're going to be an interested fourth party.
Can do, Captain. My mother my mother was serving for a long time aboard an Orion Syndicate vessel and essentially was very nefarious and part of a pirate crew. So I will do my best to evoke her temperament.
That's what I'm counting on. And Jagar,
yes, Captain.
Anything you know about Klingon pirate code or Klingon culture in dealing with negotiations that doesn't involve me shirtless fighting with a batleth would probably be a good idea right now.
I mean, honestly, Captain. As long as you go in today is a good day to die, you're gonna be fine.
But for right now, Jagar, I also need you to go through all of our records, find anything that has to do with anything we've picked up that might change the past that we go back to. Scrub it from the records.
YOLO pipes in and says,
well, maybe looking up that Bosch lady be helpful. Maybe start with her.
Nolan? You're already doing the research for collating. Add Baaj into your list. Any references to that in the last, oh gosh, Klingons live too long. 200 years.
Yeah, and then Shiv, again, I don't want to try to speak in the voice of Shiv.
Yeah.
The captain. Sound like it had a lot of cigarettes and whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, Captain, I will assist. He just kind of, he knows he's in shit.
Yeah,
He knows he's in trouble.
Helping. Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't know how to play his character that well like he does. So I'm just kind of going to tag him on with doing like the research part. So.
Okay. So effectively my plan is, and feel free to chime in if you need one to change anything, is use Uvana as an interested fourth party who's willing to step in and give more than either of the sides are willing to do. And in the meantime, figure out how to stop these chrono switches and also get everything back up. So if we need to give them something to make them go away, we can do that. But we need to make sure that, what I would have, if Disco was here, if I would ask Shiv, I need everything that that is classified, that has nothing to do with classification. If there is a classified recipe for chicken soup somewhere in the database, I need it as a trading, the safest classified information you can give me.
Yes, Captain. And he, starts kind of dealing with all that. So here's my question about the Uvana part of this recipe. This is me as like a game master asking. So what you're trying to do is get her to sort of ruse as like a betrayer?
Sort of like have her there, have her as part of this negotiation between the other two parties, right. And have her be basically like, she can give me a better offer than both of you can.
Okay, but they saw her on the probably on the bridge. So
yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
We just play it as if she's, it's obviously not a good idea to have a member of the Orion Syndicate just hanging out casually on the bridge in their full pirate attire,
All right. Okay, that's fine.
Kind of
so
we'll play it up as that.
I've come up with an idea in the meantime. In the amount of time we have to prepare, I'm starting to throw together a database collection of every single alcoholic drink that the Federation knows how to make, and the recipes and everything associated with that, and putting that together in a format that we can hand to them. So that's what I'm going to start one of the things I'm going to come to the meeting
because that's a lot of information.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
you're going to need
stacks.
Floppies for that.
That's the point, though. Overloading them with information, stuff we have. So
I see. So you're just gonna give them so much that they have to go through it and find out later that it's bogus.
Overflow them with rum.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So with all that, like all your delegated tasks, like who wants to go do what first, so I can tell you what to roll.
I mean, so I'm looking for just any information, because we're trying to scrub stuff. We're trying to scrub ourselves from the past. So, so that's
scrub any information from the future that we've gathered since we've been here.
Since when
we go back, we don't pollute the timeline when we come back.
Right.
So
Captain,
that would mean
what about the memories of every crew member on board?
We'll find a way to wipe them when we get back.
We are the men in black.
I'm sure there are ways of erasing our memories.
There are and there aren't. I mean, they are your crew. You can order them to basically just kind of like, hey, we're
quiet. Yeah.
Yes, you can order them to do that, because, I mean, really, you can't, like, it's not really a good look to, like, let's just say it's like kind of an official Starfleet thing. Like, yeah, this gets complicated, but they have to, like, consent to that, and it's all kinds of, it's like kind of a nightmare. So the best thing to do is hope that they're loyal and good enough that they'll just shut their fucking mouths. Pardon my French. But, which they would, they're a good crew. So yeah. So anyway, so where are we starting first, everybody? Who wants to kind of do their thing first, so I can figure out what you're rolling and what you're doing?
I mean, like I can start since mine probably has the other than, I will tell you, the one most well-known Klingon pirate was a privateer, and his ship was the Shudkrav. Commanding officer was Captain Lowcog. He was kind of a crappy guy. He basically raided a freighter. He sold off a bunch of Larillians on the Orion market. So he's kind of a slave trader. I don't know if that's really the tack we want to take. I think as long as we go into this just angry and with a level of just a strong level of what you humans call chutzpah, I think we'll be fine.
Now I get the Yiddish comment from before.
Yeah. All right.
It does sound like a Klingon word, yeah.
But let's see how much data of ours we can wipe.
Okay, so one thing I want you to, so you're in the data, right? You're like looking through these records that you have, that you are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is the records that you, like the scans, every piece of information you had earlier from captain, like, Enterprise Bosch, it's changed. It's not the same anymore, and you know it. Just looking at it. It's like something about what happened has affected, like, your computer's records, because the computer isn't an abstract thought. Like, the way you can look at this, the computer doesn't have abstract thought, so it can't retain memories because its memories are like a physical thing almost, right? Right. So the information you now have is pretty parallel, but it's like you don't have information, like you don't have like your scans of the Enterprise, you don't have any of that. Now you remember it, like you remember the data you read before. Like it's not like your brain's like going, what? Like you remember it, but the ship doesn't. So what the ship now sees in its place are, the same pretty much the same information on the chrono. Like everything about Korath is pretty much the same. There's not really any variation there. But as far as Baj and the ship that she's in, you see those scans now. And what you are seeing too is some information. Actually, I'm gonna make you roll for this one. Go ahead and roll me because it's kind of like this is a reason. I would say this is a reason. Let's do reason security for you, Shikar.
Okay. Any complications?
No. You know what? I'm gonna put the complication range at 5. I know that's a little extreme, but I have reasons.
Would my cultural savvy or diplomacy come in handy here?
Actually, let me put complication range at 2. That's a little extreme. Would your what savvy come in play here?
I was gonna say, would my cultural savvy come into play here at all, or
no, not particularly. Not on just looking at this data and seeing what you can extrapolate from it.
All right.
What are you gonna roll?
Let's see here. Where's my thing?
I gotta open that over there. Scroll down.
And am I rolling? Is it 2 dice?
Yeah, 2. Task roll 2. Okay, so where were we before? So like I said earlier, you're seeing like all that information's been replaced with scans of her current ship. What you also are seeing is you're seeing shit, I just had it on the tip of my tongue too a minute ago, and then getting into the technicalities of it screwed me up. Where was it? What did I have? What was I saying earlier? I was talking about Baj and the ship she's in, and the data that you're finding. You are finding that the computer is processing, sorry. I'm like, I just had it. Like, I just had what I was going to give you, and then I can't give it to you now. I feel so dumb. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second to, like, scan my brain.
Yeah.
What was I going to tell you? Okay, so the information that you're seeing now is Baj's records have changed. Because y'all had hers open too, because she's important in this. Her record for Starfleet starts in like 23, like 67-ish. Like that's when she, or no, pardon me, it is actually 2368 or 2369-ish that she starts like serving, and like a year or two before she's on the Vasquez, because Vasquez I believe begins in 70. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that show began. Yeah, because it was after her father died. So what you're seeing is that her father, Korath, is still alive. Whoa. He did not die. Because that just happened, like right before y'all left. Maybe. No, it didn't. Shit, I'm getting I'm getting so screwed up. No, it did, because it happened. Y'all were at 2369, and it happened to 2369.
Yeah.
So or 2370-ish, somewhere like that. But you have enough record on her that you're seeing that no, let me change it now because I'm worried about that I'm getting that wrong. He actually died in y'all don't know. Sorry, I have to look this up now because that was like the second season of that show, wasn't it? Blood Oath.
He died in 2370.
2370. Okay, so you're seeing that he died. He died in a really nasty battle with Galran.
Mm-hmm.
And that from there, Baj never actually served in the Federation. So what you can extrapolate from that is something happening right now is somehow going forward, if y'all get back in time or something that happened here has affected the past, and he dies in the Klingon Civil War. And basically what you can tell is up until like 2369, like because she loses him in 2368, and in 2369 she like becomes like literally she's rated as the most notorious and wanted, one of the most wanted people by the Federation, because it was a Federation starship that got involved. The Enterprise there was like in the middle of a battle, they basically showed up and he fired on them and they fired back and he died. Like they weren't supposed to be there for that battle. Like it was like kind of one of those, we came out of warp and it was kind of a fucked up situation. And yeah, so basically Galran killed Korath. And
do we have any information on
that
which Federation
today.
ship it was?
Huh?
Do we know which Federation ship it was?
Yeah, it was the Enterprise.
So that would be the D in
the D. Yeah, under
D. Captain
Jean-Luc Picard. Basically, what you read from that report, because that just like that changed in your computer too, is that just happened, or no, that will happen in her records. Yeah, like basically you have her, because she did give y'all her full record, so y'all still have that information. She actually did, and as like a show of good faith before in the beginning. So y'all are looking specifically at her records, and that's where it changes. It's like, instead of it being like a Starfleet record, it's actually like, like FBI most wanted kind of thing. Because she's been taking, she actually like, she did some pretty gnarly stuff to the Enterprise after that, because she was very angry. Because they shouldn't have killed him. Anyway, so there you go. So there's something. Is there anything else that you're kind of like looking at the moment? Shikar.
Yeah. I mean, what am I looking for at this point?
You're just looking at, like, you're just seeing the data just changed.
Yeah. At this point, I'm seeing everything's changed. That's probably the most notable piece.
That's literally the only thing about the Klingon Civil War records that you're seeing a difference in, is that Korath died because he was like Galran, for whatever, like he wasn't supporting either, but like Galran decided to take issue with Korath for not supporting him, and Galran was coming after Korath, and the Enterprise showed up, and then of course Galran, like Korath, because he has a long history with the Enterprise, was just kind of assuming that the Enterprise was on Galran's side and all this, and screw Galran, screw everybody. So Korath attacked.
Am I able to see if there was any record of us hanging around here from the Klingon? Like, am I able to, or
like were you present for that?
Or like rumors, like crazy rumors or anything about like a ship that appeared or anything like that would.
Oh, like if some other ship. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing. No change in y'all. Like y'all's is all the same. Because y'all's is like, because these are her records, so this is like, y'all are seeing everything from her, like on her record. That's the only records you have that are of the future, is her personnel file, records, which now is changed into a criminal file. Okay. So I'm going to leave you there for now, because we might pull something from somebody else that can kind of add to this. So, who wants to go next?
I guess my collating, I will just push over to Shiv's side, so he has something to do while I figure out how to. I'm probably the first thing would be like just a deadman switch, like how to most effectively destroy the chrono deflector. If the order does come down.
Okay. Roll the an insight science again, and task roll 2. Do you have any focuses you think would work here?
EPS power systems.
Nah.
Percussive maintenance.
No.
No. Starfleet protocol. Nah. All right. No focuses.
Yeah, no focuses.
Ooh.
What did you get? Okay, so I'm going to store that complication just because it does, what can I do to you right now? Actually, you know what?
It didn't refresh on the
overall. I was going to say our rolls aren't refreshing on the stream.
Oh, they aren't?
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's weird. Let me go make sure it's scrolling down. Maybe that's part of the issue. The issue. Like I said.
There we go.
Okay, it just took it yeah. Okay, so you got a 2 and a 0.
A pink 0, yeah.
Yeah, the complication.
So you find out, okay. You find out that like, I mean, you can like detonate it, right? You can detonate it. You could probably the best way to do it would be to like strap it to a photon torpedo and just blow it up out in space, that kind of thing.
Oh, so it's not like a deflector dish that gets strapped onto our deflector.
No, it is, but you could detach it too. As far as it's being attached to the ship, you could basically just like you could like
probably just jettison it and
yeah, you could jettison it and destroy it, and it won't be like super destructive physically, but you also think that you also realize, and this is the complication here, that if you were to do something like that, that it just destroying it might actually cause it could do anything. It's like very unpredictable. You don't know enough of the variables to know what's going to happen if it gets destroyed. Like, will it create another time bubble like you were in with Paul Bunyan? Will it create, will it create like a freaking black hole? Will it destroy the universe? Like, who knows? It's very like, it's a high risk, high gamble situation to destroy it. Because it will destroy itself. Like, you do know enough about it that whenever you use it, it will destroy itself safely. Like, because that's part of its function. It's a one-trick pony. That's the thing about it. That's the catch with it. Korath has been developing this thing, but he realizes if you use it once, that's it. And so he wants it. Well, that's part of the reason he wants it back, because he wants to work on it some more, because he realizes this now, too. Mm-hmm. And he needs to have the prototype back so he can make the better product, right? Because he still has some data he needs off of it, blah, 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 whatever. That's his motivations. But the thing is, that's what you know. That's the big complication there, is if you do that, you have no idea what's going to happen next.
Right.
And it could be very, very catastrophic, or it could be minor. Who knows? But even the minor thing in time can be catastrophic one day.
Right. And the next piece I would like to do is create a bit of a device that hooks into the sensor grid and ever so slightly imperceptibly changes the data that's coming from the sensors, but in a way that the errors eventually stack and in time over the required calculations that you would need for this operation, it gives you a completely wrong answer and screws you over without you noticing. So if you're just testing the sensors, it gives you like an imperceptible error, but over the course of that whole thing, it would just completely mess up the entire thing.
Now, is this like you wanting to like build like something and give that to him physically, or giving them the schematics for that? Either works. It's just you have an hour, so
probably would only have time to come up with the schematics, not actually build a working device.
And maybe there's like a base piece that you can give them that's kind of like the root of the scanner, like the computer.
Yeah, sure.
Like you could build out the computer, like the base computer for the scanner, and then they could build the physical scanner after that.
You could probably kit back from pieces we have, from spare parts. And
that's fine. And your team, you and Gator and all y'all engineering people, y'all can achieve that feasibly within an hour.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you're gonna do. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna have you then to occupy that time. I'm gonna have you roll engineering. I'm gonna have you roll reason engineering because you're the one who kind of came up with the idea, and I'm gonna have Gator roll like the control engineering on building that.
Sure.
So let me pull up Gator. I don't have him up.
Yay, Gator!
Gator, everybody! Everybody's favorite NPC.
Don't worry, he's not gonna
best boy.
The best scaly lizard boy.
Yeah, the best boy. Let's see, where's Gator? There he is. Okay, so Gator is rolling a control engineering, and he is getting a task roll 2. Actually, he's getting a 1 because he's assisting you in making this happen. I mean, I'm gonna give him a focus because he's the main engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Complication range, I'm gonna put at a 2. So did you roll already?
Not yet.
Okay,
all right.
Go ahead.
So complication range 2, I don't have a focus, but reason engineering is my best stuff. So
go for it.
Yeah, 1-1.
1-1. Oh wait, I rolled the wrong thing. Okay.
And 1.
Hey.
So what did I get? I'm sorry.
1.
I didn't update
1.
fast. So I got a 1, and then you got 2 1s, right?
Overlaid it into update again. So
let me make sure, because I accidentally rolled twice. That first roll I did was not correct.
But you was just rolling 0 dice, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so y'all are successful. Like over the hour, y'all make this thing. So that's what you did for the hour. Now, if somebody has information, we'll kind of pull that back in. But and who's next? Who else do we have? We have we have Ariana now, or we have Uvana.
Right, and so I'm putting together that database of like every type of drink we know about, and trying to create something that is valuable.
That's going to be like a 0 complication, 0 difficulty task, just because all you're doing is just getting a bunch of stuff put together. I mean, you got like a team of like data scientist officers just cranking them out, putting it all together on like a few I guess, space age solid state drives or something.
And I also try and take some time to just sort of look the part a little bit. I go and get like what is it called? A bandolier that you put around from one shoulder to the hip on both sides. And I put my phaser on one, and then a bag of just a little bit of latinum that I happen to have.
Some fake
in a little pouch. Yeah.
Some fake badges for like the whatever they're called, the Orion Syndicate, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dress it up a little bit. Oh, I am gonna have you roll. Exactly. I do want to have you roll. Let's see. I'm trying to think of to compile how much data you and your team could compile feasibly within an hour. I'm gonna have you roll a science, and I don't know if it would be control or daring, because I mean it's not a super daring task, but it's a weird thing, like volume of things done. You know what I mean? It's a weird one to roll for. So just daring science, and give me a task roll 2.
But again, Buster, the roll 20 feet is not updating.
Again?
Yep.
Rude. I gotta
very rude.
Yeah, it's did now. So yeah, and then go ahead and roll me like a 1d100 just to tell me what volume you get, because you were successful at it. But I'm just gonna figure out how much you get. Okay, so a
is that the average JBV?
Yeah. Well, okay, so you got basically like because there's probably like billions upon billions of pieces of information in these hard drives on the computers. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say that was 13 million pieces of data that you were able to compile.
Good.
13 million in an hour. And, it's obviously on multiple, like, you have like a whole, like, basically suitcase or box or whatever, just full of information of all these drives that would be compatible with Klingon technology. And then anybody else? I know I have Shiv to do. I could roll for Shiv. I mean, I think I just kind of put Shiv with you guys, but
yeah. What Jen discovered was basically somewhat related to what I wanted to figure out with the historical records. But also from our side, not just from what we got from Baj.
Well, so the thing too now is like, okay, Shiv had that data pad, right, that he had provided to Uvana as well, with all that information on it about the Enterprise. The thing is that data pad is basically full of the same information I was telling Shihar about now. But, again, it's all still present in the mind. And Shiv, being kind of the stubborn person he is, he probably memorized some of it. I'm going to say memorized some of it, because that's the kind of guy he seems like he would be. Again, sorry to Disco if he doesn't like what I'm doing with his character. I got to do something with him because I got to do this again.
He's got to be here to have a question. Otherwise, he's defaulting.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that he is like now, like he kind of goes off to the side and he just kind of tries something, and he starts to sort of write out, like physically, some of the information that he had gained in the past. But the moment that he does that, let's roll a 1d100. Who'd like to do the honors?
I'll do it.
Let's see what variation we get this time.
26.
Ooh.
Oh, that wasn't a good sound.
Oh, no.
So, okay.
We all doing it this time around? The effect?
Yeah. YOLO, of course, is on the bridge. She says, "Captain, it's shaking." And this time you see pretty much, I mean, it's about it's another like ship, right? But this time it's actually like you don't even know, like, I'm trying to think of like a ship type it would be, because it wouldn't be Klingon, or maybe it is. It's okay. It's a really, like, instead of being a cavort, it's now reduced to a Brel. There's nobody, like, there's no more other ships flanking. There's no like support ships or any. Well, she is a pirate, didn't have support ships, so it's just a smaller bird of prey. It's a very it looks like it's been vandalized multiple times. And you don't see Baj yet because you just saw the things change. But yeah, and that's all you know right now. Like, there's no hails or anything. Korath, everybody's still, like, as far as you know, they're still waiting on an hour. They're still waiting for the meeting. But yeah, the ship did her ship did change this time. You just don't know who this one is.
I hail Baj's ship.
She responds. It's actually, she's totally by herself on the bridge. And she looks very similar. I mean, like, not, the eyes back and everything, and she doesn't look all piratey, but she does look distinctly like she doesn't look happy. And she she says to you, if you do not give me that chrono deflector soon, Captain, I'll do it. I'll do it. And she's like white knuckled.
Remind me what you would do, Baj.
I will destroy all of us in a blaze of glory. You can tell, okay, Shikar, this is like a perception, like a passive perception check. You can tell that this is a Klingon at the end of their rope. This is a Klingon who is dishonored, disgruntled, and has nothing to lose. You can just tell by the fact that nobody's on the bridge and the way she's white knuckling like the controls. This is basically like she's about to go kamikaze if she doesn't get what she wants, because she is a desperate Klingon who is clearly like in a bad place. And you just know that look. You just know that telltale sign of a Klingon who has been so dishonored that they have nothing left.
But do we even? Does she still want this stupid? She wants the chrono deflector
this
too,
time.
right?
It's no longer like Pirate Bosch. She wants the chrono deflector, and you could probably figure out based on she clearly has reasons to want it. She needs to go back and fix something that fucked up,
right?
Because you can just tell by the markings on the ship, it's like her ship, right? It's a house of Korath ship, but it is it's marked up with all kinds of stuff that and you can actually read that some of there was something that she did that was just so beyond the pale.
She like a freaking reaver. We are so screwed right now. We're Captain
Shiv has now seen the pattern. And
Did she tell us?
Well, he just takes what he wrote down and he rips it up and throws it in a compactor. Somebody roll me a 1D100.
I got it.
My last one wasn't good. Somebody else.
What do we get? Oh, 69.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Does that mean we get nice Baj?
Oh, this is a special Baj. This is a very special Baj. This is, let me see. Yeah, okay, so suddenly it changes again. That is, Kamikaze Baj is gone. And now it's actually back to being a cavort bird of prey, and it has the markings of House Korath. But also, it the whole markers indicate that a general, a Klingon general is aboard. I'm sure you can guess who the general is.
We're still in contact. We're still in
we're still in contact.
Did we see Baj change as?
But we
as
just
it
keep getting.
Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah. Woo, woo, we forgot to do that part. Woo, woo. It changes to Baj again, but it's General Baj now. She has the full markings of a Klingon general. But she also has an extra awesome boob window because 69. A very lusty Klingon general. Very, very
a Klingon general in a JRPG is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. She's literally won battles just because of how good she looks.
Klingon power girl.
Yeah, just Klingon power girl. Well, I mean the Ross sisters had the boob windows on their armor.
Yeah,
but this one's better somehow. It's just better. It's 69.
It's got medals everywhere, and
it's very adorned. It brings a lot of attention. They say when you look at the records, you see that the records indicate that this Baj has literally if looks could kill, they did. They absolutely did. It was a very literal phrase. So General Baj is she says, Captain Bears, are you ready to meet with Korath? And she's also flanked by many ships. Like, she has just as many as Korath. So this is a true standoff. And she's a bit more positioned where she's kind of like in a bit of more of a defensive position around y'all. So in this version, you could tell that she is like, it's kind of closer to what you were in before. Like, she's kind of in conjunction with you.
Yeah, she's helping us. Yeah.
Whereas High Council Baj, it was like, she's clearly like trying to mediate a little bit. Mm-hmm. This time it's more of like, she's with you. And her records indicate she did still serve in Starfleet, but she did go back to the KDF after the Vasquez.
I'll basically say, General, we'll beam you over in a few minutes. Let me confirm with my crew one more time.
Shiv just...
Beer's out.
Shiv is just like...
Captain? Oh, damn, I missed it.
Listen,
this is the nicest timeline.
This is the thing you learn. What I learned from Vasquez is that the power move is always to hang up first. That's how you know you're in power. And while he doesn't know that Ba'aj would also know that hanging up first is a power move.
Yeah, she got a little like, ugh.
Yeah.
He must know somebody from my old ship.
Immediately, once the comms end, I turn to the rest of the crew and go, "What did you do? I need a record of exactly what's been done in this ship."
Captain,
in the last 3 minutes.
Shiv pipes up. Captain, I think I figured it out. And he again, I'm not gonna speak in his voice, so I'm just gonna kind of generalize it. He explains that he kind of gives you a more like, he kind of asks to go in the ready room because, you know, he knows he's going to get his ass handed to him a little bit, maybe. Mm-hmm. So y'all go in the ready room together, and he explains to you that, yes, he did take some information down a while back, but what and based on what he could see was going on with Shikar's station and his own pad, is that every time this thing changes, the information specifically Baj's record changes, as well as obviously the information he had on the data pad changes depending on what ship it is, what's going on. And he, like I said, like I explained to you as a game master earlier, your memories aren't changing, so he's kept the memory of and he explains to you that he started to actually, as an experiment, he started to kind of write down, like on a data pad, like more in a more analog way. He started to write down information he could remember about the Enterprise F. And that is where it's causing problems. And then earlier, there was like a moment where Ivana seemed to think about something and it changed. And so what he's figuring out is basically y'all's knowledge of this whole thing is what's changing it every time.
So if we don't remember, it'll stop the change.
Do we just all have to go to sleep?
Or have our memories wiped of the past couple of days?
He kind of theorizes that. Well, he points out he actually points out a good question to you, Captain. How do we know which one's actually correct, though, Captain? Because when we got here, there was Captain Baj of the Enterprise, and she, I guess what he's trying to wrap his head around is, was she is she even going to continue to exist after we leave? Because what if that isn't even the correct? Like, we don't know what's correct. We just need to get home.
Exactly. That's why it doesn't matter what's correct. What we need to do is get home. So we need to stop trying to remember everything. Do I need to order you again under the threat of court-martial and or other harsher penalties to never remember anything we have done so far?
Can we all just get blackout drunk?
This is a couple episodes of Red Dwarf that work
new drinks we can try.
Well, they're in the ready room, so they can't hear y'all. But they've come out at this point, and they're both explaining this to y'all. Like now, y'all are having a bigger discussion, and I'm going to say that you said that out loud to the rest of the crew.
Damn right I did. I mean, I'm me.
Dr. Hoff does come around. He's involved at this point because he's been on the bridge on and off, and he kind of pipes up and he says, well, there are things we could do to there's drugs we could take.
Go on.
I mean, I'm all for experimenting, but
I could maybe.
Do you have any solutions to help with our problem, Doctor?
Look, and he basically he explains to you he could. There's several different like drugs that he could put through the air systems, but the safest thing to do would probably be to get out of here first to get the device going, and then once y'all know you've made it over or you've like you're on the way, he can hit that button and he can basically dose everybody throughout the ship. Now, he does point out there's a few people on the ship that would be a little more difficult with because of their biology. Like he'd have to get them cornered into specific rooms so he could do something different with them. But yeah, he basically is like I could futz with the life support systems and yeah.
Doctor, would medical nanoprobes be of any use in this situation? Because I have a focus in that.
He kind of like shrugs and he's like, yeah, it seems like way more complicated though. Like if I can just dose everybody through the air filtration system, like why need to get into nanoprobes is kind of what he's asking. And what's her face? Yolo, who's also has some expert in not necessarily nanoprobes, but in nanotechnology. She kind of agrees.
She's small.
Like Yolo's like,
yeah, just things are complicating it now.
I mean, I got a case of blood wine. It's fine.
I think right now, and I'm going to turn to everyone, I am going to order all of you to not remember anything of this. Don't think about it. Don't even try to access it.
Before you complete that, though, I would like to recommend that we try and make our way out of the area because we possibly will bring back the entire fleet of Klingon ships by completing that order.
The problem about that right now is we try to leave, we're going to get shot at, and we still have too much time required before we can get out of here. We still need to delay. But as long as we don't remember anything from this current timeline, wherever we are, focus on trying to get back. That's all we need.
Captain, what if we they're all Klingons, right? If they have to come over here for a meeting, what if we just, get them really drunk for a while we work on the thingy? I mean, Jagar was onto something. We have a case, right?
Has no one on this ship watched the ancient Terran movie Ghostbusters?
I like that one. The Junior song.
All right. That's actually a good plan there. You're there.
Yeah, I'm only full of good ideas, sir.
It was my idea.
Well, I backed you up.
Thank you, YOLO.
All right. Here's the new plan. And
by the way, only like half an hour, or y'all are like just a couple minutes away from meeting. So yeah, y'all they're just waiting on y'all to confirm.
I tell Voss, beam the delegations from both Klingons into the conference room. No one is to enter the conference room once they are beamed in. But before you beam them in, Jagar, as much blood wine as you can physically carry in that conference room.
I mean, we could also teleport some more.
Look, God. That means yes, Captain.
Teleport more if you need to, and Jagar
in
your best.
You look all cute in your pirate stuff. You should still be a pirate lady.
Also, the saltiest pretzels 7 Forward has in stock.
The goal is, Jakar, you are going to be our liaison officer in every way, shape, and form. You are constantly going to be piping in information to telling them that that you are apologizing for us being delayed and that for them to drink the wine as much as possible. I want them to be 3 sheets to Stovacor before we're finished.
Okay. Klingons do not apologize, but we do know how to get drunk, Captain. I got your back.
Voss, once that's done, you and Uvana, good outfit by the way, but get down to the engineering and get that thing done as fast as possible.
Okay, and then Shiv is going to basically go with the doctor and make sure, because he's going to basically account for all the crew and get everybody where they need to be and organize like the staffing situation to get, like you said, there's some people that they need a different dose style, or it's not air, they need it to like they need to drink water, that kind of thing. So he's going to help him make sure that every crew member that can't necessarily do it the same way as the majority are accounted for. So Shiv's going to work on that with Dr. Hoff.
Okay.
Just so I have something for him to do. So everybody splits up. Everybody does their thing. The Klingons beam over into the conference room. Shikar's there. And Rigofa, you're the bartender of 7 Forward, your lounge. He helps. You get him involved. Shikar. He carries shit in with you, and he even helps you. He even gives you a little bit of a boon by he actually like adds like he takes some of those blood wine bottles and he actually like adds stuff to it that kind of like Everclear, like he just makes it even more
reinforced blood wine.
Like blood wine's pretty strong, but he really makes it strong.
Could we also add some gach canapes, to get them going, or gachapes, as I've called
it? No. That doesn't go in booze. Just trust me.
No. As a side, not in booze.
There's Klingon food there, flavored with the flavor crystals.
Probably reinforced with some alcohol.
Yeah, the bartender Rigofa, he really sets you up for success here. He makes sure he knows that he's served enough Klingons in his life. He knows the tricks. He knows how to get Klingons to drink and drink and drink and drink. So, and you do too, kind of, but he's like literally professionally experienced at it. So he backs you up 100%. He's got you. That little Raijin man, he's got you. And then, okay, who else we got? So we got, and then Uvana and Voss are doing the things. So you two go ahead. Who wants to lead on that and who wants to assist?
For installation, I'm assuming Voss is the installation.
For installation, yeah. For
and I'll throw Gator in there too. I'll throw Gator in there as because he's
as an assist. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, everybody. So I'm gonna say for you, it's gonna be reason engineering. For Uvana, it's gonna be I'm gonna say control science, because maybe you're doing the more minute, fine tasks. And then for Gator, I'm gonna go with presence engineering, because he's commanding. He's commanding the rest of the engineering staff to this is the absolute priority, and he's getting everybody moving on it. So he needs to kind of be more delegative. So there you go. So Voss, you will roll 2 die. You will do a task roll of 2. Uvana, you will do a task roll of 1, and Gator will do a task roll of 1. I know normally it's only 1 character is allowed to assist at a time, but we're making a special arrangement.
Oh, Sometimes we get the ship assisting, so...
Let's do complication range of 3.
Ooh, okay. 1 and 1.
Okay. And then Gator, doing good. And then Uvana.
And task roll 1, you said, right?
Yes,
For me?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, y'all got it.
Nice.
Like y'all are getting it. Y'all are getting through it. That's like kind of the, you know. Okay, that's the first leg of it. So let's say that took y'all about. That's like let's say we need to go through this like 2 more times to fill out like an hour. So that was basically like 20 minutes of work.
Cool.
So, or whatever. We'll just say it's like a period of time. Like it's, so let's just say it's actually been half an hour. So half an hour has passed. Shikar, go ahead and roll me a presence command, because that's the most drunk roll I could think of. Yeah, and you're basically running a bunch of Klingons into the ground, so...
I've definitely got to focus here between social capital, diplomacy, cultural savvy. I'm like covered on this one.
And who else there? It's Korath and Baj, right? And then whoever they bring with them. So yeah, I'm gonna do an opposed check for Baj to see how drunk she gets.
What's my complication?
Well, 2. Klingons love to drink.
And task roll 2, 1. What's my task roll?
It's always 2.
You're 2 because you're the leader of the task.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you're spending momentum, then you get more. But we don't have momentum.
Yeah, you'll have momentum. Y'all probably have a bunch of momentum stacked up. I'm sorry I've been telling y'all. Y'all had 2. Y'all actually have 1 momentum added on the last thing. So y'all... let's just, if we haven't been keeping up with it, let's say y'all have a minimum of 4 momentum right now.
All right. Okay, so and you can spend how many to get 1 extra task roll?
Like 1.
It's 1 per.
It's like, okay, for the first extra die, it's 1. For another extra die, it would be 2 more. So then it would be like if you bought 2 die, it would be like 3. Okay. So there you go. It just kind of increases.
Yeah.
All right. And then I gotta get Baj out because I gotta see how drunk she gets. This is alcoholic combat.
Oh yes.
Am I rolling first or you?
Opposed blood.
You roll first. Yeah, I'm just gonna do an opposed check just to see like how successful you are at getting her drunk.
So far so good.
And then Korath too. I'll open him up too. Character sheet. Let's put him off to the side so I have him open. And I'm gonna do presence command with him. Blah blah blah. Yeah, he's okay. He's receptive. He's drinking. And then let's pull out Baj. Where I have her. God, where is Baj? Like, I organize these things, and then I'm like, I don't remember how I organized it, even though it's freaking obvious, but I'm dumb right now.
I don't know if I ever got Baj on my list.
You didn't, because, oh, there she is. Okay, I got her now. Yeah, Baj is one of my character sheets, so she's hidden from y'all. So presence command 2. Okay, she's like, Korath is the most important one to get drunk. And so, okay, let's role play this out a little bit. So they arrive, right? They arrive, and, Korath sits on one side, and he has, like, one guy with him. Baj sits on the other side, and she's got, like, 2 guards with her. And the thing is, just, you can tell, like, she's, basically, she's here to support y'all in negotiate, like in dealing with Korath. So she's not necessarily a threat to you in any capacity. Like, she's on your side. And then she, so y'all are sitting there. So Jigar, like, how does it go? Like, you welcome them in. They all, they sit down. And Baj kind of sits on your side of the table.
So I'm pretty much just stalling for time at this point, right?
Yeah, and then Korath is immediately like, when he first gets there, he's telling you like, "Oh, are you ready to talk?"
Our captain is so excited to have you on board. We have got some of the best blood wine in the galaxy. He is certain that this is all going to go so well that we are already bringing you some beverages. We are ready to party. this is some Jajvam kind of day stuff. Like, today's a good day to die for us. We know it's a good day to die for you, because that's how Klingons do. So let's just have some blood wine. And the captain will be here.
Korath is a little bit like annoyed, but Baj backs you up by saying, all good negotiations start with a glass of blood wine, or with a tankard of blood wine. Because she doesn't know what you're doing, but she kind of picks up that there's a reason you're bringing alcohol into this. I mean, and she's just gonna go with it. Like, she kind of looks at you and gives you a nod. Like, she's smart enough to figure it out. So she basically backs you up by encouraging him, and he says, all right, I guess while we wait for your captain. And then, everybody starts to drink. And the thing is like throughout this, y'all kind of have discussions. Korath tries to kind of keep pushing, like he's starting to get impatient. And so that's the end of 30 minutes. Like, y'all are just kind of biting for time. He is starting to get very impatient by the end of this 30 minutes. So another set of rolls. So you go ahead and roll the same thing, and I'll roll the same thing for these two.
There it is.
Oof.
Time for momentum.
That was Baj. So Baj comes in stronger this time around.
I was going to say, I do have momentum.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You could spend 2.
2?
Spend 3 to get.
Well, the thing is you're successful because Baj is backing you up here. You're still successful. It's just that there's a complication, which is he starts to try to leave the room. He starts to, he's still like, he's slurring his words a little bit, but he is starting to get a little rowdy. And he's like, rah, rah, rah. He's just, he's talking about how he's ready for this captain to get here. And he's starting to like kind of try to stand up from his seat, and he's kind of shoving the furniture around.
Can I start leading us in like a rousing singing of the warrior anthem?
Absolutely.
I mean, like,
in fact,
this is some Koi Kalish Puklod stuff.
I'm going to award you a free roll for that. Like, just do another President's Command task roll for free.
Koi Kalish Puklod.
Oh yeah, you got it. He can't not respect the song. Mm-hmm. So he starts to, and this is appeasing him for now. And then, so this is going well. So the first 30 minutes of work for the engineering team has been successful. So let's do their second 30 minutes of work here.
Does the complication range change?
What was it?
3.
Let's take it down to a 2.
All right.
And then let me find those sheets. God, I got so many sheets open right now.
Ooh.
I mean, you got it.
I am good at my
much,
job.
But yeah. You got it, but you didn't get a complication, so that's good. And then who else was I doing? Gator. God, I gotta find his sheet. I have so many sheets open right now, so it's like, oh my god, so many people. Senior staff, Gator again. Let's go with him again. What was his role? Presence engineering. What'd he get? Oof. So the complication that comes through here is one of a couple of his engineering staff that he's directing around. One of them like hits like they do so they turn a bolt the wrong way or something, and basically they get a little shocked.
Reverse the polarity.
Yeah, they accidentally reverse the polarity, and they are injured, and so you're down like a couple crewmen. You're down like 1 or 2 crewmen. They're going to be okay, but they're just, doctor. The doctor has to be called. So it slows you down for a second. So while you're successful, you are successful, but you are gonna like Gator. Basically, you'll lose Gator's role in the next round.
Okay.
So, because he'll be focused on getting that polarity back, which he will, but it's just he won't be able to do the rest of it.
Sure, makes sense.
So, yeah, we're back. So basically, Baj is like, she's not drunk. She is like, she kind of, you can tell she's playing the part a little bit because she hasn't spoken to you about it, but she knows something's going here, and she knows you're biding for time. And she's kind of, I'm actually going to roll for her real quick. I'm going to roll to see if she's kind of like, because again, she's on your side. She's fully aware
there's
of
a
the
plant
situation.
next to her that's slowly starting to die because every time he's not looking, she's pouring her drink into the plant.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so Baj has kind of like she's put 2 and 2 together quite literally, that you're trying to get out of here. You're trying to actually succeed because she knows that's what this is about. Like, even though the situation is still the same, you're trying to go back to your time. So she realizes that that's what you're doing. She's put 2 and 2 together. She realizes she's delaying him because they're trying to install this thing and get the hell out of here. So that makes her efforts in all of this even better at this point, because now she hasn't spoken to you, but she's figured it out. And and you can tell now, like, there's this unspoken thing you can tell. So go ahead and roll your roll again from earlier. What'd you get? Okay, and then go for Baj. Yeah, there's no way he can beat y'all. Yeah, there's
Bloodwine wins the day.
Bloodwine always wins the day. This episode is so not where I thought it was gonna go. Like, and it's partially my fault with that 1D100 thing that I thought of literally this morning on the. Every time we're doing this game, I drive up here to work and I'm like, oh my god, I just came up with something that's gonna fuck everything up. So
this really is the nice timeline.
Yeah, it really is.
The nicest violent timeline. Yes.
So he's gonna roll. Yeah, y'all got him. He's like down for the count almost. Like he's singing songs on his own. Like he's
what's that Klingon tradition where it was like the Sacred Order? I remember it was a DS9 episode where like they had to drink like for a year. Or something like that. Drink
he's
for
like
an entire week.
He's like so far
nothing.
Yeah, he's like just like saying like, you guys, like he's basically like, you get like, do you want to go to the holodeck? You know, like
oh my god, is this basically like the first episode of or is the second episode of Lower Decks?
Yeah, like it's the third episode.
Third one.
He's so like, he's just like, first of all, he's like got 2 very beautiful Klingon women, so he's just like sitting across the table and he's just like got his like hand, his chin in his hand, and he's just like looking at y'all, and he's just like telling you how pretty you are. He's like a drunk white girl. Like he's just telling you in the bathroom. He's just like and he's actually telling you about, like, he's starting to tell you stories about like a woman he once loved who she was just, he's telling you about this woman, like this Klingon woman he fell in love with many moons ago. But the thing is she died and you know, she died in like this amazing, like glorious, like burnout of a battle.
And I have so many songs for this moment.
and he is just like, he's thinking about her, and he's thinking about her with like a great fondness, but he's starting to like, kind of towards the end of the half hour, he's starting to delve into like being sad about it. And he's really like, and then he actually reveals to you that's one of the reasons he's like built the chrono deflector, is he wanted to go back and find her.
Oh, that's
time after time, isn't it?
I don't know that song, but it's
it's so beautiful. That is the perfect song for a time travel episode.
Yeah. We're there. We're there.
Okay, so engineering staff, roll your rolls again, please.
I will force anyone to re-roll if you have a complication, because I cannot handle a drunk, emotional Klingon on my ship as we're trying to do. We're already time traveling. I don't want to deal with that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Nobody's been using momentum. I'm gonna spend 3 to gain 2 extra dice.
Do it.
There we go.
Jesus, Josh! How did you roll?
I am very good at my job.
Okay. How did you roll 4 dice?
I don't even need to roll.
Well, I spent 3 momentum for
Wasn't that like all of our momentum?
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
We have one. Depending on how much we actually need it before we get it back. So
go ahead, Ivana. Okay.
I'm ordering you to re-roll that, Ivana.
Okay. Ivana,
supervisor roll. The command re-roll.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay, y'all have gotten this thing online. It is ready to be activated. Clearly, you have Klingons aboard that you need to get off the ship. And
I have a plan.
Okay.
Okay. So the second everything gets ready to get activated, Voss, I'm sure you'll tell us, or Voss or Ivana will tell us.
Yep.
I'm going to enter the conference room the moment that everything is ready to go, and I will say, I'll kind of adjust my uniform and go, I apologize for being so late. We had some maintenance issues we had to deal with.
Who are you?
It's all good, Captain. It's all good.
I don't even know who you are.
Oh, and I look over and immediately see Kor crying, or what is his name?
Korath.
Korath crying, and I walk up
and
to him.
And Baj is just kind of like with Shigar, and they're just
I walk up and pat him on the back and go, "Oh, we have many fine counselors on board who could help you, but I'm sad to say that they're all booked up for the next couple of years. Why don't you collect yourself and act like a Klingon instead of a blubbering mess?
I need a nap.
Go back to your ship and nap.
Okay.
And then we'll contact you later when you pull yourself together.
We'll work out the thing. Okay.
And
you're a good man. And he like kind of he's like smacking your cheek.
Yeah. He smacks
and
my
by
cheek,
the way,
and
his
I'm
guard is also drunk. So, but not as drunk as him.
Yeah.
But his guard's like, okay, like.
Okay. When he taps me on the cheek and goes, "You're a good man," I kind of look back. I look over at Chakar and then just lean back and just smack the hell out of his face, and then say something in Klingon to the effect of saying, pull yourself together. And then immediately I hit the comms and go, beam them out.
Yeah, and they get beamed out. Baj and her guards remain, and once they're gone, she looks at Shigar and she looks at you as well, Captain Bears, and she says, "The oldest trick in the book: get the Klingon drunk."
And as she says that, I say, "Not another word. I have dealt with too many Bajages today to say anything. Go back to your ship, please."
I am every Baj. It's all in me. Shaka Khan. I don't know what's been happening, but I'm sure it's been interesting. And she
go.
She knows.
Go.
She knows. Yeah. She taps her comm badge and they beam her out. Her and her guards out. And okay, there is one thing I need to do. Shiv and Hoff report in right about then that they're ready to go. And they ask they specifically, because they've gotten everybody else accounted for, but they need Ivana to report to like a specific basically she needs to report to her quarters because her pheromones, like she's one of the only Orions on board, like and she's half, so she's got a specific thing going on, so she needs to go to her quarters because her little thing set up for her quarters.
Okay.
So she has to be off the bridge. So Ivana Shiv asks you to report to your quarters. But you can still like do your job from, he'll transfer your console defaulted to your quarters. So you can work from the science console if needed.
Home day, yeah.
And then, and then like Hoff and Shiv also has to report to his own quarters as well because he is, Endorian,
Mm-hmm.
And so they go. And then it's like Hoff's like basically like give everybody 10 minutes to get in a position and we'll be ready. And I'll let you know once I have properly accounted for everybody. And so that's what happens is like over the next 10 minutes, everybody reports to where they're supposed to go.
Okay.
And
do we need to do any checks for firing this bad boy up and getting us out of here?
No, it's pretty straightforward. Like at this point, Voss knows how to like activate it and do what he needs to do to it because, y'all, that's one piece of information that's remained constant through all this is how this thing works. And basically like, Uvana gets to like put in like all the like data on it and exactly where to go. And then, it's basically a matter of where would you like to end up physically?
Exactly
in
where we
all
left
4
off.
dimensions.
Exactly where we left off, right after the Paul Bunyan.
Give or take, probably give it like a few extra minutes just to make sure.
Yeah.
So cool. So y'all basically set it up for like the exact same spot, but but like
a couple of hours later.
Yeah, for a couple hours later. So there you go. That's set up. So, just know when to press the button. Are you ready to press the buttons?
I'll make an announcement over the loudspeakers. Attention, all hands. This is the captain. Brace yourself for a rocky ride and trust in your doctor. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Ears out.
So, does the button get pressed?
Would this be a black alert situation?
Yes.
Okay, the button gets pressed.
It would be.
The button gets pressed. Somebody roll me one more 1d100. Just.
Oh God.
This is more of like a me thing. This isn't y'all.
I think Uvana is the only one who hasn't.
Go for it, Uvana.
Or
she has.
Actually, very appropriate.
Oh yeah, she was.
Not for the general task, but for my own.
Not for the general task. Yeah.
I just want to see. Ooh.
Ooh.
I just wanted to see what y'all would have rolled if because as you're about to press the button, one more Baj appears, and this is like the Satan's asshole Baj. Like this is the evilest of Bajes. But by the time that y'all it changes really quick. Right before y'all warp out, and like she hailed you and she got through because she like did something. Because we'll just say old Baj, like General Baj. Okay, here's what we're gonna say. Before you left, like General Baj, what do you call it? She hailed you just to be like, all right, I'm gonna stay here until I see you on your way. And she just kind of, she says, well, however many Bajes you dealt with today, Captain, I hope that the right one ends up being in your future. And then, just as she says that, suddenly it, and then you just see a Baj that looked like she has like a black bird of prey. She looks like a villain, like a true Star Trek villain.
A goth Baj?
Yeah, goth Baj. And
does she have a goatee?
And then she is like got weapons powered up, and she is about to fire. And right before you leave, like right before she fires, is when y'all feel the whole thing. Like y'all go through space, and like the whole thing happens, and it's like and then boom, like it's like you popped out of nothing. Like you just feel like you didn't exist before. That's the only way to describe it. Like suddenly you exist again. And you're back.
I look down at myself while I'm in my quarters and I wonder why the hell I'm dressed like a pirate.
No, listen. Before, see, while all that happened, Shiv came to your quarters and he put a mask over your face, and you have one of those over yours as well. Like he had one and you have one, preventing you both from the effects of the memory loss.
Fucking.
God damn it, Shiv.
So he went to Ivana's quarters?
Yeah. He prevented both of them from losing it.
See, this is why I suggested nanoprobes, because masks don't work for nanoprobes.
You don't work. And guess what? And guess what? None of y'all remember any of that.
Anything.
No, you remember. You remember that you had a time thing.
The Paul
going
Bunyan.
On.
Yeah, and then
you remember, but you don't remember. You have a hazy idea of like you went to the future. There was a Klingon woman who was captain of, like, you remember the key points, like the Enterprise, but that's it. That's all you know. But Baj and Uvana remember.
Not Baj.
Again, Kayla save us. Kayla save us from Shiv.
He can't get in trouble because you don't remember.
The perfect crime.
The perfect crime.
And this is where the timelines split. We have created yet another parallel
universe.
How
do you know? Maybe they were supposed to be the ones that remembered. Somebody was. Somebody was. You don't know the future anymore.
This is true.
The future is very confusing. All right. Well, that's the end of the episode, everybody. I hope that was enjoyable. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If y'all want to go for a second longer and tell me what, like, you got, if you want, I can tell you what happens when you get back to DS9. If you want to do that real quick, unless you got to go.
We can finish it up. Let's
just
finish that up.
Okay.
Because obviously we return back to DS9.
Okay, so you get back to DS9, and Commander Sisko, they hail into you as you come in, and they say, hey, they're just kind of like, Captain, are you, it's good to see you all back. What was going on out there? I remember the Paul Bunyan thing, so that's what happened. Yeah. You remember that. You remember that very distinct. You remember that whole thing.
It'll be in my report, Commander, but it's complicated.
It always
Let's just say there are some truths to some legends, some unbelievable truths to some legends.
Well, I look forward to the report. Docking Clamp 8 is open for you now. I'm sure you and your crew would like to get to that 48 hours of shore leave that you were supposed to have originally.
I'm sure we would.
As far as Cisco knows, y'all were on shore leave for like 48 hours. Y'all got a few hours into it, and then this happened. And y'all were the only ones available. So y'all, according to them, y'all have only been gone for like a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
So just he kept the docking clamp open. I mean,
according to some of us and the ship's chronometer as well, have only been gone for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I imagine all our logs have been wiped and that kind of stuff as well. So
we didn't do the same mistake as in that episode in Star Trek where they wiped the memory but forgot the ship chronometer.
Yeah.
And the lithium crystal.
No, I didn't push y'all on that because I knew y'all with how tight you were being. Except I hope So anyway, y'all get on the DS9. It's DS9. You can go around and you do your thing. So that's the end of the episode. So there's where you're at. Like, we'll end it there. Y'all go to Quarks. Y'all continue what you were doing. As far as you know, you didn't lose much time. But again, y'all have this very hazy feeling that more than the Paul Bunyan thing happened, and it had something to do with the Enterprise and a Klingon. And a couple Klingons, Baj and Korath. So there you go. That's the end of your episode. I hope that y'all enjoyed that. I hope y'all enjoyed tomorrow's Enterprise. Gosh. I almost want to change the name of this last episode to something like, I don't know, to something different. But anyway, but
I think episode 1 makes sense. The first episode is tomorrow's Enterprise.
I have to change the name of this. Yeah,
has to be something about
Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper.
Time After Time. Hey, that's a great name for this episode. Time After Time.
The time that comes after time. I don't know. I might change the name because I don't know.
The Klingon version of that is actually Vibcha Tikwij, which means my heart travels back in time.
Nice. Maybe we'll figure. Yeah, I'll get with you on that. We'll figure something out. But great job, y'all. Okay, can I tell y'all exactly I'm going to tell y'all how this episode was originally supposed to go. When I planned this whole, because originally we were going to do this in one episode, right? But it got split into 2 because of time. So years and years ago, a couple months ago, when I wrote this whole episode out, this is what was supposed to happen. Y'all were supposed to go into that battle. Y'all were going to do another battle with all these ships, and y'all were going to get to a point because inevitably y'all were going to get a little pounded, right? With 10 freaking Klingon ships on top of you. So eventually what was supposed to happen was the USS Chimera with Captain Nog was going to show up and save your asses. Nog was going to show up. He was going to swoop in and he was going to not necessarily save you and be like the French cavalry, but he was going to assist y'all significantly because the Chimera is a battle cruiser. So it was going to take some it was going to be like in Lower Decks when that Vulcan ship shows up next to the Cerritos and protects it from fire. It was going to be kind of like that. So that was going to happen. And then, and by the way, if you guys if y'all out there watching didn't notice in that first episode, I didn't mention in this episode, the second officer aboard the Enterprise was T'Lyn, who was one of the characters from that episode, that actual episode of Lower Decks, who was aboard the Vulcan ship. Anyway, so that's how this was supposed to go, and then y'all were basically gonna get on your way from there. The bulk of the episode was gonna be y'all fighting, and y'all's kind of fun Easter egg moment was gonna be Nog showing up. But y'all I came up with that 1D100 Bosch thing today because I was I really want to do something because I really thought about it, and I thought, they're in this set timeline of Bosch becomes the Enterprise captain, right? But how do they really know that's correct? And I just came up with a way to delineate the timeline a little bit to mess with y'all, and it worked out in a fun way that I was so not prepared for anything that happened in this episode, but I think it made it a good episode because that one thing, that 1D100 element gave it some more personality. And I want to tell you as well, the variants of Bosch you did not get to see today. So y'all got evil Bosch at the end, truly evil Bosch. 10 through, if you rolled a 10 through a 20, you would have gotten cult leader Bosch. 20 through 30 was dishonored, disgruntled, which you saw for a second. I didn't want to dwell on her. I was not into that. 30 through 40 was Romulan conspirator Bosch, which would have been she would have basically had a, the kind of like the Ross sisters kind of deal.
But the Khitomer Accords.
Who cares? 40 through 50 was for pirate Bosch. 50 through 60 was High Council Bosch. 60 through 70 was General Bosch. 70 through 80 would have been Starfleet Admiral Bosch. 80 through 90 was going to be Chancellor Bosch. And 90 through 100 was going to actually 100. You would have actually gotten a 100. 90 through 100 was going to be I hadn't quite figured that out yet, 90 through 99, but basically she was going to be a super important person. Super, super, but if you had gotten a 100, specifically only a 100 and only 100, it would have been Q Continuum Bosch. I was so hoping y'all would roll 100, but I knew it was so unlikely. I was oh, that would have just done the whole thing. But anyway, fun episode. I had a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
Oh, and we didn't get to ever do the scene that I wanted to do originally, because one of the other things was Jarge made an admiral variant of the overlay for Jin for Shigar. So if we had stayed the way I had intended, like the actual track where Nog came in and did some stuff and things 90 through 99 was going to be a return to Captain Bosch of the Enterprise. Pardon me. But because that's ultimate goal in life is to be Captain of the Enterprise, right? So basically Jigar, when she mentions there was an admiral, in the first episode, that was Jigar. Jigar became an admiral in that timeline. Where Bosch is Captain of the Enterprise, in that timeline, Jigar is an admiral of Starfleet. And she is actually the admiral that had quite a bit to do with Bosch specifically being present. So you have your future laid out for you. Because that's still a constant. That's the thing. That was the whole point, was the constant was supposed to be Bosch and Korath. No matter what timeline you guys were in, Bosch was supposed to be the one to either help you get back or prevent you from getting back. So yeah. Anyway, I hope that kind of clears some of what my thought process was. But let's start with Darj real quick. What was your favorite moment of the episode?
Well, first off, I think I'm gonna have to rewatch this video because my Discord died just as you were explaining your thought process for the entire episode.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But actually, my favorite bit was the 100s that they kept changing. Not that it was just once, which is what they do in Star Trek, and then you have to figure out how to change it back. But they kept evolving, and that was a cool trick. Yeah, I like that.
I love 1D100s. I'll tell you that right now. They are so useful. But thank you. And
damn it! I actually have D&D dice. I have percentile dice here. I could have rolled it.
Yeah, you could have.
Damn it.
I would have accepted, because you would have known what you were gonna get. So, and then that takes us to Maiden Ariana. How did you feel about everything?
24.
Same thing. I loved the randomizing, having to adapt again and to changing situations. It was cool. And then also finding reason to quote Dan Aykroyd, at that one moment. So that was fun because I loved that movie.
Hands down, Ray's stance is the most dateable of the Ghostbusters. Along with Winston. Honestly, Winston is too. Winston's just he's just very no nonsense. Whereas Ray's just this sweet little unicorn man. Or sweet little lamb. He just doesn't know what he's getting into. Winston's much more sensible. So really, Winston's probably more dateable. He's probably a bit smarter. Anyway, sorry, I had to go on that tangent. Jen, what did you think? How did you feel? What was your favorite?
I mean, I drank a lot of actual Star Trek Wine's blood wine tonight. So I'm very excited that I got to use a little, really kind of do some fun Klingon cultural shenanigans.
Klingon pirates. We got to get into Klingon pirates in the future. I really want that to be a thing.
Just having some good Klingon blood wine shenanigans made my evening. I'm not gonna lie.
And then what about I was supposed to say just go. Shiv, what did you like? Everything. He loved everything. He thought it was the greatest episode of all time. And then that takes
his backstab at the end.
Yeah, dude, I hope he's okay with that. I really I don't like to have to play somebody's character for them, but to me, I had that from the get-go. I was he's going to find a way to retain information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always on brand.
With that, and
even if it hurts everything else, because if it helps the Federation, that's what matters.
Yeah.
So,
and then of course, Paul, how did you feel? What were you feeling about it?
I'm going to go in a little bit more touchy-feely aspect to this whole thing. Everyone in this episode seemed to be doing, have something to do and was working off of their own ideas and bouncing off ideas. What if we did this? What if we did that? It was we were working like a crew, which is why it was my favorite part about the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think personally I did a bit of a better job of backing off and just letting y'all figure it out. I will always use YOLO and whoever once in a while to you're going to do this part. Like, you're going to do the obvious thing, right? Like, you're going to make sure the obvious thing's covered. Because I'm the kind of person, I'm like, I don't want to be that game master that's like, well, you didn't stay it. And it's like, no, it's Star Trek. Like, it's assumed that like, if you're going to get the Klingons drunk, you're going to, like, like YOLO would be like, yeah, because it was a good idea and I wanted to push it. Like, I wanted to use YOLO to kind of push it forward and make sure it got hurt. Like, that y'all like, yes, that's a good idea because it's going to work. It's like, this is so going to work. Like, I'll use YOLO and whoever else and Couture to, like, kind of once in a while give y'all a little bit of a poke, but I don't want it to be like what determines your choices, because you already made the choices of what you wanted to do. YOLO just was kind of like, hey, we're gonna, like, make sure, right? Like, she's like the insurance that I give y'all. But yeah, so for me, honestly, my favorite moment was, I have a couple. One, I do think the 1D100 helped all, like, it made it so much more fun on my end, because because I kept thinking there's going to be these different like, I had this idea of different Bajas, like, and I had this idea what he did with the data pad, like, I have to do something with that. And he was going to be the one responsible for rolling the 1D100s. Because he was going to, because I was going to put it on him to, like, make a real choice, like, to actually make a choice. Like, are you taking this information with you? What are you going to do? Like, I was really going to put it on him to, like, do something with that data or not. Like, it literally, my note says, no, anytime Shiv messes with the plans of the Enterprise or any of the data he's picked up, use this interaction 1D100 roll. His interactions from things from the future will cause a timeline shift. Baj is bound to this moment in all timelines. He has kept scans and all kinds of data on the Enterprise. Anytime he thinks about it, mentions it, even in or out of character, I was going to make him roll 1D100. Like, I was going to make him do that. Yeah. And because he wasn't here, I had to kind of push it onto y'all. And like I said, the ending where he, like, keeps the two of you from losing your memory, that was the sort of a last, like, that was a decision I had in the last, like, 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, like, that was an idea I had, and I was like, I want somebody to remember, because y'all are talking about getting it to not remember it. And I was like, but I know he would find a way. If I know anything about that character, he would find a way. So
for sure,
I'm proud of myself for trying to honor Shiv's ways. So Disco, if you're here,
a way.
I hope I did you some. I hope I did Shiv justice for you today while you were away. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Thank y'all so much. And honestly, y'all were just fantastic. I had so much fun watching y'all, like, deal with all the different Bajas and kind of all that. Which, by the way, which was your favorite Baj?
Goth Baj, definitely.
Right at the end.
Pirate Baj.
I knew, yeah.
Just too many Bajas. That'd be the name of this episode. If it was an episode of Vasquez, it would be too many Bajas.
Too many Bajas.
Yeah. And Baj in Klingon means to earn, so maybe it'd be like the Baj has been Baj. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Bajing Baj.
Oops, all Bajas.
Oops, all Bajas. Yeah, that's great, sleazy.
But yeah, we were gonna have a scene. See, originally with the original plan, I was gonna have a scene where Shigar and Baj, like, hail each other. She hails Admiral Shigar. That was gonna be a big reveal, Admiral Shigar. And Admiral Shigar was gonna basically, because one of the things I had written in my original notes was, at some point, Baj was supposed to headbutt Shiv before leaving them and letting them go do their thing. And then that command was gonna be from Shigar. Like, literally, that was a command that was given to everybody. Like, make sure you headbutt him before he leaves. Because he deserves it. And I wanted to do it so many times.
Oh, I've had this Post-it note on my desk for almost 2 months now.
Yes.
Wait, let me see if I can get it. Did you headbutt him? Because that was the question you said. Like, you were like, don't forget before the next time we meet to ask about this. And then I forgot, but I still had the Post-it note. Well, fuck that now.
and to be honest, I'm kind of glad we didn't have to do combat today. Like that y'all totally pulled out of combat. Like y'all found every way to get out of combat because my God, like that would have not, like I would have been like, I have to roll for Shiv every time. Like,
yeah.
If Shiv had been here, if Disco had been here, we probably would have gotten into some combat, but I just didn't want to do. I was so glad y'all just totally were like, let's try not to do that. So, really good episode. Really good.
It's Starfleet.
Even a Klingon knows when to back the fuck off.
Yeah. But anyway, good job, y'all. Thank you so much. And thank y'all for watching, whether you're here on Twitch watching us live or you're in the future watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for supporting the Spice Bus Roll, and thank y'all, my wonderful cast, for doing such a good job. Like I said, Disco was missed today, but we'll get him on the next one. So yeah. But anyway, let's I'm gonna just say thanks for letting us play some Star Trek in front of you.
And if you're watching this in 2409. Go steal a chrono deflector and come back in time and tell us how accurate we were.
Yes.
There you go.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.